Okay, I guess I'm just gonna start, it's okay. Alright, so this is the Demon's Crest boss rush, my current PB. For people who don't know, I'm German, so if my English sucks and I'm stutter all the way, that's why. I usually stream in German, but I guess I'm gonna keep it English for this one, since this is a post-commentary, since I did this little run offline, like yesterday. So in boss rush, we kill all the bosses using the final password, so we have access to all the items, ultimate gargoyle, and yeah. I also want to note I put out the crown here to get some money early. I'm gonna do that a few times in the run, or like, let's just say 2 times. So I get some money early on. Yeah, because we actually need, in the late game, I need some money to actually beat the final boss, since I am not very good at that one. Well, so yeah, I'm also gonna equip the Fang. That's the other main thing about this run. The Fang you really get really late game normally, but well, it does twice the amount of damage, and I have the ultimate gargoyle, which already does a huge amount of damage. So I'm gonna kill this boss pretty much instantly with 2 hits. And that's gonna be a lot of bosses this way, so dying is not that big of a deal, except in few parts. Like at 2 bosses you can very easily die. And another cool thing about the ultimate gargoyle is that he can pretty much do anything all the other gargoyles can. He can dash, which is really nice for movement. He can fly upwards, so you don't need to change. Yeah, and you can also punch into the background, which comes in handy in a few places where you actually need to do that. Yeah, flying upwards here is just much faster than just doing the ascent normally, of course. But that's pretty obvious. So yeah, we're just gonna finish level 1 right now, because it's right there on the map. Mostly the level order is just because it's faster on the map. We don't need to do any particular order, except for a few things. I just need to plan my shop visits, and that's really it. I pretty much just need to do level 2 late, and that's it. So yeah, right now we're gonna go into Phalanx 3, mainly because we don't need anything shop related here. We don't need any potions or whatever we're gonna buy. And it's probably the hardest part of the run, except for the final boss. So to get that out of the way early is really nice. Also, that's really good practice for the normal 100% run, to be honest. Since, well, this is usually the final boss, which you're gonna fight in the end of the split. And yeah, I think I actually got some decent practice out of it, just because doing it over and over again. Yeah. The bosses are a bit harder here, since you have the legendary gargoyle here usually, which does the same amount of damage as you do right now, except for the Fang. You wouldn't have Fang for this one. You would get the Fang right after this boss normally. So yeah, but we don't need to change gargoyles here. We can just do pretty much everything with the legendary gargoyle, which is pretty nice. We're gonna change here though, because there's a wind current in this next room, which makes you faster, but because the legendary gargoyle, the ultimate gargoyle, is immune against everything, so he is immune against wind, so he doesn't get the boost, so it's much faster to change to the normal firebrand here and using the claw to get past this room. It's pretty neat. Gonna change right away because, well, we can dash and we pretty much need this for every boss. Can put in some dashes here, which you normally can't. Thing about the ultimate gargoyle also, if you dash and turn around in mid-air very quickly and turn back again into the direction you want to go, you can fly again. So you can cancel your dash and then you can fly again in midair. Usually you can't do that after a jump. So I have to wiggle around in the air sometimes, just so I don't, well, go too low or into spikes or something. Gonna get the health here because the final boss, the usual final boss, is pretty hard. And I want to do some risky strats there. So I gonna get that HP right there. It's not that big of a deal since you can dash. So we're gonna start the phalanx fight here. Another thing to note about Ultimate Gargoyle is, even though he is obviously the best of all the gargoyles, his hitbox of his shot is surprisingly very tiny. It's, I don't know, it's probably the tiniest hitbox you have on any shots. At least that's what I noticed. It's for sure much smaller than the hitbox of the shot of the legendary gargoyle, which you get in normal game. So you gotta pay attention to that, or you might miss a shot. And missing a shot is usually quite a pain, since you only can have one shot on the screen. But yeah, this fight goes pretty much like normal, except that you can fly up, which you can use to your advantage. Usually you can't fly up. So that's pretty handy. You can dodge more stuff and you will enter the next fight with a bit more HP. Yeah, but it's pretty nice to get that out of the way right now, the Phalanx 3 fight, because that's definitely the part where most of the things go wrong. So I'm gonna try to play really risky here and go pretty much straight into his face, and if you touch this boss it does extremely a big amount of damage, so I want to not do that. Also I'm switching because of the short hitbox I mentioned. Yeah, I'm gonna go right into his face and spam all the damage I can. I got in 3 shots I think there, I kinda didn't count. Yeah, but if you get hit by the boss directly it does a huge amount of damage. You don't want that. You can do that once or twice, but you gotta really pay attention after you get hit by himself. If you get hit by the laser, it does 2 damage, it's fine. So I'm gonna play risky there once again, and I get a lot of shots in there. And he's already turning red. Got another quick shot in there, it's amazing. That fight went really well. It can go so wrong. And that was, yeah, for sure a goal split. That's amazing. That was, because of this fight, I pretty much wanted this run to finish. And you can tell that later. I have a part where I played safe a lot, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I can come to that later. Yeah, that fight was amazing. It usually doesn't go that well. Okay, so first shop visit, I'm gonna buy 5 Mercury potions, and you will see why. They come in quite in handy in this category, since the only goal in this category is to beat the bosses. You don't actually need to get the boss's item. The boss is confirmed dead. There's a brief pause after a boss dies, where you can't do any inputs, and after that pause is over, well, the boss is considered dead, so you can do whatever you want after that. You can die or whatever. This room is usually a pain to me, since I try to put in some dashes everywhere, and sometimes I get hit by these birds. And it looks so bad, but I don't know. Okay, that room went pretty well. I didn't went for as many dashes as I usually do. But dashes on ice are also quite painful, because if you start the dash late, it wastes more time on ice since you accelerate much slower. So Grion takes 4 shots. And right after he dies, which you will see right... Well, he trolls around a bit, but right now I can warp out. And the thing about the Mercury, it's... what it does, it sets you back one room. So that boss is considered dead by the category, and I can warp back one room, so I don't need to fade out of the level, enter the level again. And it only saves a bit time here, but we will save more time by that. That was a stupid damage right there. Lost a few seconds because of that. Oh well. It's not a perfect category, but that run was pretty good. And for an arbitrary category or for a not main category of this game, I'm fine with this run for now. Yeah, also by dash cancelling you can do the mid-air back punch or the background punch or whatever. Yeah, this room can also be a pain if you want to fit in some dashes here, which I hopefully did here. No, I probably didn't, since that went quite wrong. Oh well, could have gone worse, I suppose. Yeah, but bosses from this point on are not a hazard anymore. They don't do a lot of damage, and I pretty much kill them quickly all the time. So that's not really a problem. It's just doing it fast. That's the only problem. Okay, so this room I tried to do a bit of optimization by killing the bats while turning around, while flying up, but then that went really well. That went really bad. So yeah, that room was kind of awful, but oh well. Yeah, because having all the bats on screen there really lags the game a lot, and lag is a major problem in this game. So I tried to do something cool there, I kind of failed, but oh well. Yeah, I never said this run is perfect. This run is very optimizable, but just that gold on Phalanx 3 and that, well, it was an awesome fight. Things like this make this run good enough for now. Also, it looks, I split kind of early there, but I play with a delay to that screen you're seeing right now. So I actually split probably on point. Okay, Flyer can be an interesting stage, since you can put in some dashes here, which is pretty nice. I think I fail this trick in this run. I'm not happy about that. This is the trick I usually want to get, the pillar clip. I got this in a lot of runs of this, but you can clip underneath the pillar there, but it didn't work out in this run. Sadly, it only saves a really small amount of time. Okay, here's another room where I switched to normal firebrand since of the wind current, and that's just fast in this room because legendary gargoyle doesn't get the boost. And I could switch back for this boss because it takes one less hit if I kill him with ultimate gargoyle, but that's just not worth the pause, since it's actually 2 pauses, since I need normal firebrand right after this again, so I just do one more shot and that's fine, because I'm gonna Mercury out of this boss. And I'm right here. So what did that save? Wait, so I do another Mercury. And where do I end up? I end up right in the wind room again. So I skipped that complete room just by doing 2 Mercuries, which is pretty nice. And it just works out for this category. That's definitely not viable for normal 100%, because Flyer fight would be just so slow. And also Mercury cancels are quite a pain if you don't do it like in this category, where you can just... where you don't need to get that item. So yeah, we saved quite some time by using those Mercuries there, which is pretty nice. And we can just make our way straight to Armor 2. And see, since we are not collecting anything in this stage, we can just fly straight up. Which is also normally a thing you can do, since you would only get aerial after this next boss. So you could make your way up with tornadoes, I guess, but, well, you need to go outside in a normal run anyways. But yeah, straight to the boss, and, well, as I said, bosses are no hazard. The usual, yet so luck-based RNG armor is no deal for us. He can troll us a bit, though. I'm doing some post-commentary now, so I don't wanna really react to the chat right now, but we can talk afterwards. So yeah, he gives me bad RNG by flying up. He takes so forever to fall down or to slowly descend down. Oh well. So I'm gonna lose a bit of time here, but that's fine. So here's another occasion where I equip the crown to get some money, and that's because there are so many statues or things you can destroy which can give you a lot of money drops, like this one. Couldn't get that one, but okay. Like each of the skull coins is worth 20, and of the bigger coins that's worth 5, so it's definitely worth getting that. Otherwise you need to farm later, and that's kind of stupid. I want to avoid that. Yeah, it's quite worth equipping the crown here, definitely. While on my way I can destroy that one, hope for some drops. Destroy those enemies. It's not worth going back for 5 coins probably. And I need to go into this room up here for another Mercury reason. I can just spoil that right now. And I get a few money drops here. So Crawler is totally RNG based. He only needs 4 shots in this category though, which is really nice. But he can also troll you if he wants to. He can just not open his eye. But I get the perfect RNG, so that's fine. Another reason why I wanted to finish this run, which you can tell later. So I walk back to that room I just went in, which is pretty nice. Otherwise the Mercury would take me to the very beginning of the stage. So it's definitely worth going in there. I get some stupid damage there, that's... oh well. Okay, I'm just gonna switch to Tidal Gargoyle here, because if he swims, he goes in like this swimming animation, which is like a lot smaller, and it's much easier to pass through this level, to pass by enemies. So it's just better. Also the explosions of his shot are way better for breaking these walls. Only thing you need to pay attention to, for is that he takes more damage. Oh, I didn't mention, I also equipped the hand talisman there. That makes so I can have 2 bullets on screen at a time, which also helps breaking those blocks. Sometimes I swim directly to the spikes, since it does less damage than just swimming to the Murlocs. Or Kappas, or whatever those are, I don't know. They deal quite some damage though. Okay. Switching back for some damage. For the Holothurian fight, it would be better if you would stay right in the middle of him, so you get the item as soon as the fight is over. But it's just not worth going for it really. If you have luck, it just happens. Because if you wait to be inside of him, it's just not worth the time. It saves like 1.5 seconds plus the way you need to get there. So it's pretty much just 1.5 seconds, otherwise you're just gonna wait. So at this point I tried to think Oh god dang it, I really want to finish this run, so I'm gonna consider something I usually don't go for in runs. And yeah, that makes the run a tad bit slower, but yeah, I just wanted to keep this run. I'm simply just gonna fly over this room, except instead of dashing, since, well, there's a lot of lag in this room if you, in the last room, if you let all the bats spawn. So next up is Scylla. Well, this boss would be hard if we didn't have everything. So Mercury out again and make a way to Flame Lord. It's just a lot faster to use those Mercuries. It saves a good chunk of the level. Pretty much 2 rooms in this one. A little burp there. So we're just gonna dash through this room. And on Flame Lord there's a thing. He has a pretty long death animation, but if you actually stand inside of him while killing him, you actually get the item as soon as the death animation starts, which is pretty handy. And you can see here, we also do that in 100% runs, but I thought I'd mention it. I kinda did, oh, well, that kinda worked out. So usually you would need to see all this death animation before you can start walking again, but yeah, that saves quite some time. So yeah, now there's a shop visit I usually do different. Usually I would buy a Mercury, 2 Ginseng and a Sulfur, but I thought I really want to play it safe, and I had a lot of runs dying to Dark Demon before this. So I thought I might just, well, buy more healing potions. So I'm doing this. So I'm gonna buy the Mercury right here. Gonna buy 3 Ginsengs like I usually do, and I have some money for a herb, which can heal 8 points, I believe. I'm not really sure. So yeah, for the shop that didn't cost much time, maybe a second or 2 of me pretty much thinking what I should do. And yeah, I'm gonna lose some time not using that sulfur though, but it's not that bad. We can count the seconds later. Since I really don't know. I haven't seen this run yet. But yeah. It looks quite good though. I'm happy with this run. So oh yeah, I forgot to equip the Mercury there. It's kinda stupid. Since I was so focused what I should buy, so I didn't look which bottle I have currently equipped to buy. Like usually I buy the potion, the Mercury there, which on the potion I have equipped right now. If that makes any sense. English is hard. Yeah, since obviously I want to use the Mercury after belt. Well, that's also really easy to do. If you dash too early, like while you're still in the air with this gargoyle, you do this stupid background punch. That can happen so easily, you have to pay attention to that actually. Okay, movement is pretty interesting here with ultimate, since just flying over those enemies and not letting that spawn is faster than just dashing over it, just because of the lag. And it's really hard to hit those stupid bats right there. It looks so stupid, but it's actually really hard because right when you're on that level with the bats where you need to stop, the lag pretty much stops and you fall faster. So it's really hard to hit that, like going right through that. It's much harder than it looks, for stupid reason. So we can take a shortcut in that level and then you have to the ununified. Thing I do here, I equip the hand, and usually I would equip the sulfur here too, but I don't have that. Yeah, again, like the hand does that, I can have two shots on screen at once, and those eyeballs of Nunu only take one hit still. So just to make that faster, it's probably a good idea. I haven't timed it, but it's probably a good idea to just equip the hand here. And usually you would have to equip the sulfur, so you have to go into the menu anyways. Well, the main eyeball takes one hit more now, but that's not a big deal. Those were some nice snipes there. Yeah, otherwise you would always need to wait after a screen is shot. So usually I would use the sulfur right here to warp out of the level, but the other thing I can do, it just wastes the seconds now. I can also just die here, and that's also quite neat. So I didn't lose as much time since I could die there. This is the only boss where you can die afterwards. Yeah, but now we're up to the crucial part. We're up to the final boss, and this one is really hard. This is why I bought those Ginseng's, which heal you fully. Also, you want to note here, this is the only charge shot we actually shoot, because charge shot don't do more damage. And I only hit one row. You can hit two rows with that, but it's not a big deal. It looks cooler to all hit two rows with that, but okay. Yeah, but so here we're gonna start the fight. Thing to note here, he has 200 HP, and my attack does, on the three-headed phase, in which he is right now, I do, well, I actually need to think, I think, yeah, 8 damage with the Fang. So I do 8 damage on this phase, and on the other phase he's gonna change into later, I do 4 damage. So I need quite a bit of shots on him, and it's pretty much crucial that I need to put in a lot of hits on this phase, since he takes double damage. He also does more damage though, so... Yeah, but usually this phase, where he just shoots all over the place, and if you hit him, those stupid rocks fall down. This is usually my weak point, definitely. It's definitely the harder place of this fight. So, first Ginseng here. Yeah. And I was really nervous at this point, since a lot of guns just died to Dark Demon, and this one was just way too good. So you want to dodge those stones and hit him just as often as possible, because it's pretty much RNG how often you can hit him. It's just timing based, I suppose. Maybe it's just set after a hit if you can hit him another time. It varies a lot how often you can hit him. But as I said, the other phase just takes double damage. Okay, second Ginseng right here. You can't even hit him right here, you need to wait for him to let you. That one could have hit. That one really could have hit. Also you might, it's a strat to just get hit by that blue ball, since it does like no damage. Everything else does a lot of damage, and touching the boss is, you don't want to get touched by the boss. He does infinite amount of damage, pretty much. I don't know if those actually hit those shots. I didn't hear it. They really should have hit though, I don't know. And that's the boss. I only used 2 Ginsengs at this fight, which is amazing. I usually use 3. So all that playing safety wasn't worth it. Could have saved even more time by not doing that, but it's really amazing. I had gold in all the splits that are the hardest, pretty much. I had the gold split at Phalanx 3, which is a crazy hard fight and you play it risky. I had it, I had perfect RNG on Crawler, which was a gold split, which can just casually waste all your time. And I had gold split on Dark Demon, which is amazing. Which is the part I die, usually. So yeah, that's the run. I cut the recording pretty early there. But oh well, yeah, that one was pretty awesome. So thanks for watching.